So this is day 9 in our 16 days of activism against violence against women is being observed around the world. And as I had said to you, I would bring you something every day to do my part to raise awareness. And I'm in Region 3 today. I'm spending the day in Region 3 for various different things. So I'm going to bring you the story of a woman from Region 3 or who lived here and died here. Her name is Zaila Sugrim. Zaila was going to the University of Ghana, as was her husband. They met at the University of Ghana, so both educated enough to be going to UG and getting qualified there. Both got their degrees. And then she fell in love, she got married, and she came to live in Region 3. And lived a life of pure, unadulterated abuse. Physical blows, kicks, cuffs, chops, burns, isolation from her family for years, isolation from the wider community. She'd be locked into a room. She'd be financially starved for resources. She'd be told and controlled all the time what she did, what she cooked, what she ate. His family knew. And so I'm very clear about that. His family knew about the abuse. And so they saw it, they lived it. She was so isolated that when one of her children topped the country in common entrance, the country celebrated him because he was in the newspapers and he went to the graduation. What we didn't know at the time was that she couldn't go because that was part of the isolation. She wasn't allowed to go to the graduation of her own child who had topped the school in the country. Well, one of the top children. And Zaila got away after about 17 years. I think it was 17 years, but many years. She got out of the house, she joined the bus, she had nothing, and she got away. And she made contact with her siblings whom she hadn't spoken to for years because she wasn't allowed to. They didn't even know where she was. And she got all the help that was available. She got legal help for free from me. We went to court, we got orders of custody, maintenance, restraining orders. She got shelter. She got support from her siblings. She got help from the state. She got all the help that was available. But these relationships are very complex. And so I think she began to see him secretly again. We didn't know that. And one day he picked her up from the deli and brought her home to where her children are. Her children had been at the time. It was one child's birthday, and that was the last anyone ever saw her alive. He shot her in the house downstairs, dug a hole in sort of like a garden, and buried her in a shallow grave. And that's where she was found a couple of days later. Earlier this year, or late last year, he got sentenced to many years imprisonment because he was found guilty of her murder. But I tell you that story not to be morose, but to tell you that one, he was abusive for many, many years, and that people who are abusive don't change simply because they tell you they want to. Two, his family knew, and they had to watch their son and brother and nephew get sentenced to jail, and that's where they have to visit him now, and that can be easy for them. That's got to be painful to see this young man in jail. If you don't want your son and your uncle and your brother in jail, then don't encourage him silently or overtly or covertly to abuse his wife. And 3, domestic abuse doesn't end because you love the person. It doesn't end because you want it to end. And most women who end up dead didn't think they would end up dead. They would probably tell you the day before they were killed, yeah, he's beat me, he slapped me up, he's cruel, but nah, he ain't gonna kill me. Most of them would probably tell you that. Some women, I think, get a sense that this is getting very dangerous. Probably most women get that sense. But a lot of people would say, nah, you can go far, but not that far. And I'm saying to you that if you're being hit, it is part of your responsibility to get out of that relationship. Technically, we should be telling men don't hit, don't abuse, don't beat, don't kill. But that hasn't worked so far. So I'm asking you to take responsibility for your own life and get out of that relationship until he gets professional help. And by that I mean medical interventions to get help, because he won't change, and you could end up being a statistic, leaving your children motherless, leaving this beautiful world with so much to offer, and being the victim of murder at the hands of your husband or boyfriend. Don't let that be you.